We're going to cover a topic today that not a lot of people talk about, which is mistakes that fundraisers can make when cultivating. These mistakes can cost the organization the relationship and even the gift, so really work hard to avoid these items. And they're in no particular order because they're all dreadful. First is not following through. If you say you're going to do something for a prospect, make sure to do it. If you say, I will send you an article that I recently read, make sure to send the article. If you say, I'll give you a call next Friday, when Friday rolls around, you make the call. Even if you're going to be late with your deliverable, just let them know. If you can't find the article you promised by a certain date, go ahead and send a text or give them a call and let them know you are searching high and low for it. Following through is a critical part of relationship building, so don't be the person that flakes out. The best way to end a relationship before it even gets good is to not do what you say you'll do. Another way to discredit yourself in the organization, and our second mistake, is to ghost your prospects. When you begin cultivating, you can't disappear or go dark. If you're not in communication with your prospect at least monthly, it gets weird because there are all these false starts and stops. When the time is right to begin cultivating and the prospect is qualified, make the commitment to cultivate through solicitation. Don't stop unless the prospect either becomes disqualified or it's time to move them into solicitation. Number 3 on the list is doing all of the talking when cultivating. I once went on a donor visit with a colleague and she spoke for 90% of the time. She felt like she was educating the donor on all of the amazing things that our organization was doing. But what she failed to realize is that she didn't engage the donor in the discussion at all. The donor was bored. She was practically glazed over, and it didn't feel like a relationship building effort. It felt like a lecture. During the cultivation process, make sure to give time and space for the prospect to share. Cultivation is like a fact-finding mission, and you want to have a deep understanding of what the donor cares about and what's happening in that donor's life. You want to uncover all of the pieces so that you, at some point in the future, can put forth the most perfect solicitation for that donor. And lecturing is not going to get you there. Relationships are a two-way, not a one-way. The next mistake, number 4, is one that I see too often. Many fundraisers will just cultivate forever and actually never ask for the gift. I like to call this serial cultivation. Some fundraisers believe that they don't actually have to ask for the gift because they've built this amazing relationship with the donor and that the money's just going to come in the door. No, absolutely not. It does not work that way. You get what you ask for, and if you don't ask for anything, guess what you're going to get? Plus, if cultivation goes on too long, it can get weird for both parties. If you're just hanging out with a prospect and not moving them toward a gift, you're just a friend at that point and not the professional fundraiser that I know you are. Every move should be strategic and work to move that donor toward a gift. The flip side, our next mistake, number 5, is not cultivating long enough. There's a cultivation sweet spot that you want to strive for. You need to cultivate until you know 4 things. First, what organizational effort or program does the donor love the absolute most? Second, how much do you think you can ask for? Third, why the prospect cares about your organization. And 4, you've gotten permission from the donor to solicit them. The prospect shouldn't be moved into solicitation until these 4 things are solidified in your mind and recorded in your database. Number 6 is that fundraisers are not proactive in their cultivation efforts. When you've built out a strong moves management strategy, you have your next few moves already planned out. You're not making up cultivation tactics on the fly, you are working your plan. Before you walk into any meeting or pick up the phone, you want to have a clear goal of what you want to accomplish with this particular interaction. You want to be proactive, but you can't be rigid about it either. Remember, you might have a time frame in mind that you're hoping to close this gift, but at the end of the day, it's the donor schedule that you're working with. You must have this element of flexibility, but also be working the plan. It's not easy to be both proactive and flexible, but I trust you'll find your groove. Another misstep that fundraisers make is not introducing prospects to others at the organization. It could be a board member, a member of your C-suite or leadership, program experts, even other donors. But the relationship cannot live with just you. Too often, fundraisers will move on to the next job and then the relationship with that prospect fizzles. The relationship is really with the organization, and the fundraiser is a facilitator. Broaden the relationships between the prospect and the organization, and it's not only going to deepen the relationship, but it's going to preserve it for the future. Our final mistake I want to mention is not asking permission to solicit. This is an important step in moving from cultivation to solicitation. It's also important because you don't want to solicit and then the prospect be completely caught off guard. It should be no secret that you're there to build a relationship that ultimately gets to a gift. But you don't want to put yourself in an awkward position of asking for the gift and the prospect saying, "Oh, I didn't know that's what this relationship was about. Yikes." That is going to freeze up a warm relationship quicker than you can imagine. So these are 8 costly mistakes to make during cultivation. Having a strong moves management strategy in place will help you avoid these mistakes, curate an amazing experience for your donors, and ultimately close that major gift.